Your host, CEO Inspired Leaders International, Provincial Fathers Union President, Church of Uganda, Certified Executive Coach, Global Speaker, Award-winning leadership consultant, and author by the grace of God. Married man, father, husband, a friend. Good to be with you this wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, depending on where you are right now around the world and at what time you are watching this program. Where people are salaried, where people are given salaries and emoluments and wages and allowances, but fail to lead in an environment where you have only volunteers. Leadership is situational. Leadership is contextual. When you get somebody who doesn't understand a certain context and you put him into that context to lead, he or she will meet some challenges. That's why on this program, we look at leadership from different angles in relationship to family. Today, we are focusing on leadership still in the family, but this time being practiced by somebody who is in the context of faith and beliefs. Our topic today is a church leader and his family. You all know what has been surrounding the families of church men and church women. And when I say a church leader, I know it involves the ordained, the clergy, it involves the laity, the non-ordained, and so on and so forth. So we want to particularly focus it on an ordained minister of the gospel, a clergyman. And to take us through that kind of a conversation is none other than a friend of mine, a courageous preacher of the gospel, a brother in the Lord, the interim president and CEO of the African Leadership and Reconciliation Ministries, Reverend Liberty MUHEREZA. My brother, you're welcome.
It's my pleasure, my brother, to be here.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
It's been quite some time.
Yes, it has been.
The last time we chatted, I think you were somewhere abroad, somewhere. Was it in the US or?
Yeah, I was in the US,
Yes.
part of April and the whole of May.
Okay.
And, well, by God's grace, I'm here now.
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
How is family?
Family is doing well.
I checked on your WhatsApp profile picture, and oh, it was glorious. The picture of your family, you with your wife and your children, looking awesome.
Oh, thank you.
I think some good things are happening.
Yeah, they are. They are. By God's grace, good things are
Yes.
happening.
Yeah, so you're very welcome to this program.
It's my pleasure.
And I would like you to look into the camera and introduce yourself. Who are you and what do you do?
Thank you. Good evening, dear viewers. My name is Reverend Liberty MUHEREZA, as my brother Samuel has said. And I'm an ordained minister in the Church of Uganda. I currently serve as a non-stipendiary pastor at All Saints Cathedral, Kampala. And I also lead an organization called ALAM. And my brother Samuel has given it in full. It's African Leadership and Reconciliation Ministries. I serve as the country director for Uganda, but by God's grace, I'm currently serving as the interim president for ALAM in Africa. We serve in 8 countries in Africa: Uganda, Kenya, Rwanda, Burundi, Sudan, South Sudan, Tanzania, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. I'm married to Emily, and we have 3 children. We have been married for 11 years now. And we are still going and loving what we are doing. Thank you.
Good to have you here, my brother Liberty.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you for the journey of 11 years with your dear wife and your 3 children. I know some people who have been in marriage for only 2 weeks, for only 2 months, for only 2 years. So keep moving, keep going.
Yeah, we are determined to keep going. When we entered it, we knew it is for us to stay in.
Yes.
Till the Lord says, now it is time.
It wasn't a contract.
It wasn't a contract.
It was a covenant.
It was a covenant.
Not a contract.
And whatever happens, we know we have to sort it together.
Yes.
Because we are a team. Mm-hmm. We have to make it work.
What if some members of the team are so uncooperative? Either you are uncooperative towards her, or she is uncooperative towards you, and the team is shaky. Do you have to continue with it? that's a sign that you should stop it and move on.
By the way, there are some aspects where you find that what she's working on or what I'm working on, one of us is not very cooperative, and then we have to help each other to actually cooperate. But the good thing is that we know that it is ours. We have to make it work.
Yeah.
So we have to find a way of making things work.
Yes, yes.
And I am reminded, or I remind her that, you know, we have to make it work.
Yeah,
so
have to make it work.
Yeah.
That was a message that my sister-in-law gave to me. Madame Narongo Joy Behangana gave to me one day after my wedding with my dear wife Charity. She sent me a message, a short message on the phone, congratulated me for upon the wedding the previous day, and then signed out on the inside of that message by saying, "Make it work." Make it work. Yeah. So from day one, I realized if it's going to work out, I have to work it out.
Exactly.
It's not like, marriage is not like a wild tree somewhere in the bush that you let, to germinate or something.
Or have other people work it out
for you on your behalf.
Yeah.
But you have to fertilize it and water it and remove the weeds in the marriage and keep moving.
And keep moving.
So good to hear that. Now, having introduced yourself, it tells me you are the right person to be on this program this day.
I hope I don't
We are talking about leadership.
Yes.
This program being a program on leadership, particularly focusing on leading the family. To you, generally, what is leadership?
Leadership, just in simple terms, it is influence, to influence.
Yes.
But as I could say a churchman or someone who is involved in leadership development, leadership is serving. So I could say leadership is influencing in a way of serving those that you are leading. Okay.
Influencing the people that you are serving, or influencing in a way of serving.
Exactly.
So that means that if I am leading them, but I am inviting them to serve me, am I not still leading? According to your definition?
You are leading.
Yes.
I think that's where we say we go to the area of, are you leading positively or leading negatively? How is your leadership? How can it be categorized? Is it a positive influence? Is it bringing a positive influence?
Yes.
Or it is actually negatively impacting the people that you say you are leading?
Okay. So it has to be positive influence through exemplary service.
Exactly.
All right. So when we bring that to the family, therefore, how would you, let's put the two words together, family and leadership. What would you say family leadership actually is? Family
leadership is when a member of the family, and I want to look at it in a way that every member of the family has a role they play in leading those that you are with. But there is that structure of knowing that the overall leader is other parents, and the father being the one that is like the chairperson of the family committee in leadership.
The presiding officer.
The presiding officer.
The family.
And you help others to lead and influence each other positively.
Okay.
So family leadership is where members of the family influence each other positively.
Not particularly one particular person influencing the members of the family, but
not,
the members of the family.
Not particularly one person.
Okay, influencing each other.
Influencing each other.
That's an interesting perspective, because most often we only look at this one man whom God has given the mandate, to guide the family, to guard the family, and to govern the family by way of mentoring them, modeling for them, and ministering to them. So the whole responsibility of leadership is placed on this one person called the man, rightly so. But then you are bringing in a new interesting angle that we must give attention to, that there is co-leadership in the family.
Yes.
Family leadership is exercised in a team manner, in a team arrangement.
In a team arrangement.
Even if there could be the leader of the leaders.
There is a leader of the leaders by God's own arrangement.
Yes.
But this leader is to help others lead each other well.
Wow. And even lead themselves well.
Lead themselves well, lead each other well.
Yes.
So your role role is to make sure that each member of the family is being led well,
Yeah.
is leading him or herself well, and is leading others well.
Brings in the picture of what happened recently. I was elected the Provincial Fathers Union President for the Church of Uganda.
I hadn't congratulated you physically. Congratulations.
Even an envelope is acceptable. and gifts. But we thank God, it's by the grace of God.
Yes.
So now I am the president of Fathers Union for the Diocese of Kampala, and there are other presidents around the whole country in 37 different dioceses. Yeah. And now I have been given the opportunity to be the team captain. So I am not just leading followers. Because you see, these are fellow presidents.
Exactly.
These are fellow, because when you talked about that quickly came to my mind. So I am simply the lead among the leaders.
Yes.
I am the captain on a team of players, not spectators. So that's the picture I am getting in mind concerning family leadership from the way you look at it. And I think this is very brilliant.
Each member of the family has to feel empowered.
Yes.
And to know that what they do will either influence positively or negatively the members of the family. And so in that aspect, they are leading. And once they know that, then they know that they have to be careful. The way they lead themselves, the way they lead others. And knowing that you are respected as a member of the family in your role, as a member, as one who is also responsible to guide in some aspects, empowers you. And I think it makes you feel responsible for those around you.
It really does. And I think that also makes the work of the leading leader, the team captain, easier. Because if you are a CEO of an organization like I am, like you are, if you are a managing director of an organization, and you find that all the people that you lead are actually having only a follower mindset, they don't have a leadership mindset, your work is going to be more difficult.
More difficult.
But when you have people on the team, even when you are their leader, but they also have a leadership, they think like leaders. They take initiative. They want to give a positive example. They want to be influencers. They want to ensure that things are done well and done in time. Then I think your work also becomes easier.
They actually make it great for you. Because sometimes there are things you don't know how to do well. And even when you are the leader, they tell you how to do them well. Because they have been empowered, they know that once they speak, you will listen. And you will move forward. But if they know that you will always come from you, then what you don't have will never be brought to you.
Oh, wow. That's quite a quotable quote. That's quite a quotable quote. Now, I am aware you are actually also a son of a clergyman. Even when you are a clergyman yourself, you are a son of a clergyman who served for about 40 years, retired, I think, in 2020. And out of those 40 years, he actually served for 27 years as an archdeacon in the Diocese of Chibezi in southwestern Uganda.
You have the history.
Could that have been your inspiration for also becoming a church leader in the office of the ordained minister?
Yes and no.
Okay, that sounds like a political answer.
Well, I didn't mean it to be kind of political, but based on what I'm going to say, you will understand. So he has influenced me in the way I lead. I saw him serve, but I didn't want to serve in the position that he's serving. I wanted to lead, to serve God in the church, not as an ordained minister. Because of what I saw myself go through, my brothers, my sisters go through, kind of sacrificing our comfort.
Sacrificing you in essence.
Exactly. Sacrificing us in a way. So I thought, well, this is a good job. It is a noble job. I respect the pastors, the church leaders. But I want to do something else as I keep on respecting them and supporting them. So I thought I would study law and become a lawyer and go and practice. And you actually did, didn't you study law? Yes, I did. At Uganda Christian University? Yes. I remember. And then God somehow continued speaking to me that I have got to train in theology. Yes. So after serving for 5 years in leading a peace and justice department in an organization, God made it clear that I have to resign, go and do theology.
Resign as a lawyer and go and become a clergyman.
Yes, resign my position and become a clergyman. And be ordained. I actually left the organization, went and studied theology, got ordained, and somehow God brought me back into now I serve in 2 ways, at the church and also leading my organization.
The organization, Alam.
Yes.
Okay. You know what I'm hearing from what you're saying is that there were thorns in your home.
There were.
There were stones you were stumbling on. There were razor blades you were stepping on.
Sure,
there were pins and needles you sat on. There were a lot of challenges that you went through simply based on the fact that your own father, the family leader of your own family, was a clergyman, by and large.
Yes.
What are some of those specific challenges that clergymen face, especially as they try to lead their own families?
So one of them is that the people that you lead, the Christians, tend to take most of your time at the expense of your family. So anytime you can be called, you come and pray for the so and so. You lead this service. There is a funeral service. There is a eulogy.
The bishop wants you at the diocese.
Yeah, they want you at the diocese. And sometimes you don't even eat food because you have been so busy. Even when the food is there, I would see my dad not eat because he's too busy.
Oh my!
You know, you are counseling and all that. And most churches have one ordained pastor and a lay reader, if you are lucky. And then you have to do all that. So if you are committed church minister, you will be overwhelmed by work.
You would be overcommitted to do something.
Exactly.
And you know, they say passion without control is suicide. And I'm saying this to myself because I'm a very passionate man about the things that I do. And I have sometimes learned the hard way that when passion is not controlled, it can actually be suicidal. So yes, the Christian is taking your time at the expense of your own family, and even putting your own health, physical health, in danger because sometimes you even miss food.
Not only your own, even the health of your children.
Yes.
I remember during the genocide in Rwanda, actually even before the genocide, the way from 1990 the war to 1994. Most refugees came from Rwanda and came to Uganda. And they would be roaming in the villages in Kigeza, and people would say, you go to the Reverend's home. The Reverend's home. And now you have just started eating, and you see people knocking. Mwiriwe.
Muraho. Murakomeye. Turashaka.
And you see them well. It has done. And you see they are very hungry. And now the mistake that our parents made was to kind of force us to be generous.
Forced generosity.
To be kind. So you have got to share. They are not asking you, can you share? They say, okay, now we divide it. And if among them they are clergy, then you surrender your bed to the clergy. And you sleep on the floor. And so the way we are taught kindness is a forced kindness.
Oh my.
It's not that it is coming from you.
And you know, forced kindness is unkindness. They were not kind by forcing you to be kind.
So maybe the parents are being kind to the other people, but we are not. And we are not enjoying it. And in addition to that, in the morning you find that even what they slept on, because they are still going, they are refugees, they know they won't stay at church. They wake up very early, they take it. And even your shoes, which they had bought you the other day that were new, that you are still proud of running around, you find they took them. And I said, well, I think I don't want my children to go through this. I won't have to be ordained. I love those who are ordained, but then let my children also experience a different kind of lifestyle. Challenges of a clergyman in trying to lead his family, endangering his own health, putting the health of his own children, you know, at stake, and even having no time for his own family because those that he leads outside his family want more of his time than even his family in a way.
Yes.
And By the way, here in Kampala, I think the pastors are a bit lucky. But down in Chijezi,
Yes.
those days, I don't know these days, those
Yes.
days, you work, but at the end of the month, you find what the Christians have collected to build the building they are working on, the church, to support those that need support, is not enough even for you to have your salary paid.
Oh, yes.
So you see your dad in one coat,
Yeah.
and
For a whole year.
for a whole year,
Yeah,
and
same pair of
but
shoes.
he works hard than most of the people that you know.
Yes.
And,
Other than all the neighbors combined.
Yeah, and if it is Christmas and he gets salary and buys his wife a Gomez or what, and buys another coat, you hear someone saying,
A sentence of faith.
sentence of-
Our money.
our money. And yes, I wish they knew that he hasn't even been getting all his salary, but
Yes.
do you tell anyone?
You
No.
don't. Why don't you tell anyone?
Because you know it won't help. They won't even believe you.
Yes.
They won't believe you. So
Yes.
it is your cross, you and your dads and your family.
Yeah. So you have this kind of environment whereby you actually don't have a schedule per se. Yes, you have a schedule, you have a plan, you have a program. I'm going to visit this one, I'm going to do this, I'm going for pastoria here. But then there are all these other
Things
that come in. And I think even today it came into your own life. You had a plan, and then somewhere you were invited to go for a rescue mission of a life.
Exactly.
So now
I
in
had
that
a
case,
ministry.
yes, in
I
that,
had a weekend
yes,
with my family. I was at home. Then I got a call.
yes,
We have someone that we think needs prayers.
yes, and particularly we need your own prayers. Don't send somebody else.
Yeah.
Now in that case, how do you still become very organized in life as a family leader, yet remain flexible enough to take on these ministry opportunities? How do you often do it?
I don't know whether I have succeeded on
Yes,
that.
yes,
So for the things I know, I plan for them.
Yes.
Those that are on my schedule.
yes,
And I plan for them. But I think with ministry, you learn that even when you have planned, something will come in.
yes. You keep the door open.
Yes, you keep the door open. But there are also moments I have had like conflicting loyalties. This one is very important. What I'm being called for is very important. So I stick to what I planned for earlier.
Okay.
And I make it clear that this one I won't manage. Because, well, I can't be in 2 or 3 places at once.
Yes.
So there is when you speak to the person,
Yes.
please understand, I'm doing this. I won't manage coming. I pray that you get someone else. Or if I have someone I know, I can say, let me try so and so and see whether they will come in.
Okay.
But if I find that they can't come in, then I just stick to what I have prepared to do.
Yes, so I hear 2 things here. One, I hear the ability of this clergyman, the family leader, the ability to say no to some things. The ability to say no to some things.
Yes.
But also I hear the aspect of staying open-minded in a way, flexible enough to accommodate that you may not have planned for, but it is a critical priority for the ministry.
Sure.
But hopefully not at the expense of the people you are leading as your first line of leadership, your wife and your children. Hopefully.
Well,
Prayerfully.
prayerfully, because sometimes, you have plans with them and they get affected.
Yes.
They get affected.
Yeah.
And sometimes you see they are feeling that this, you shouldn't have allowed the other one to take place. Even when they understand that it is, you are needed to go and do that.
Yes.
You still feel that it has affected them.
Yes, because you see, it's because they still have needs that are not met.
Exactly.
Your wife has needs that only you can meet. Whether you are there or not there, those needs are there.
They are there.
Your children, they have needs that can only be met by their dad. So whether they understand that the ministry is important or not, they still expect some bit of, a piece of ministry from you to them to meet their own needs.
So,
and I think this reminds me of something that we have often heard and sometimes actually seen. We've seen it clearly, whereby most children of most clergy, they are not among those who have, the best behavior, the best character, and some of them, their conduct cannot really come close to being termed as godly. Could it actually be a result of poor leadership ability of their dad, their family leader?
Yeah.
In line with what we are talking about?
Partly. I think as clergy, we are still developing on how to better serve our families.
Okay.
We are still learning how to better serve our families.
Yes.
It is something that we keep on struggling with. That even when I determine that every Monday I'll make sure I'm with my family,
Yes.
or every 2 days a week, I'll make sure that I'm with my family, or 3 days. There is even when that very day that you have set aside,
Yes.
something comes in. And you realize you have to do it. These people need you. And sometimes the society doesn't know that that's how much we are pressured
Yes.
to do work.
And here is another thing, Reverend Liberty. Now, Samuel Bakutana will go to his office at Inspired Leaders International from 8:30 up to 5. He is doing his work.
Yeah.
It is at 5 when he comes to you
Exactly.
in the evening,
In the evening.
at church,
At church.
for prayers, for guidance, for counseling, for advice, and so on and so forth.
Well, you know it well. You know it well. So that's the challenge.
Yet that's a time when you should also maybe be with your family.
And now going to the issue of our children,
Yes.
that kind of life, they wonder how God can make them miss their father.
Yes. What kind of a father is he who
yeah.
takes away their father?
Exactly. So even without them planning it,
Yes.
they grow questioning this kind of God
Yes.
who seems to take their father away so much, yet they are supposed to trust this father in heaven.
Yes.
And the father they have physically here hasn't been someone close to them.
So that internal struggle that they have as a result of that situation, you are saying in instance that that's what forces them now to maybe have bad behavior, to move away from Christian values in their own life in a way?
Yeah, but also the competition that they see.
Yes.
Your son or daughter wants to speak to you, but you are giving priority to a guest, a Christian
someone else's
who has
son
come.
and daughter.
Exactly, someone else's son and daughter. When they come, you say, I'm still speaking to so and so. But they also want to speak to you, but you don't care about them. So you are somehow making them feel like all this thing is not helpful to them.
Wow. Wow.
And you also don't know what they are going through. You don't have time for them. When they start smoking, when they tell them smoking is
Yes,
good,
yes.
they want to ask, Daddy, I see some people smoking.
Yes.
How is it good? But you even didn't listen to that
You
question.
are busy.
You are busy.
I heard about a pastor whose daughter came to him and said, Daddy, you see. And then the pastor said, yeah, talk, I'm hearing. But you see, the daughter said, what did the daughter say?
You see.
See. The daughter didn't say hear or listen. You see. But the gentleman said, yeah, talk, I'm listening, as he was still underlining a verse in the Bible.
In the Bible, because he has been called for ministry urgently.
We need to take a break. We need to take a break. As we talk about these things, do you think that a church leader can be a good pastor and a bad husband? Do you think a church leader can be a good pastor and a bad father? By the way, a number of them are known to be isolated, lonely, and without friends. What causes that? And if this church leader is going to now reclaim his capacity to lead his family well, amidst the pressures of the work that he is doing, what can he do? And by the way, this clergyman we have in the studio, does he struggle with anything in his own personal life? When we come back, that's what we are focusing on. Let's take a break.
This is Church of Uganda Family TV, enriching lives.
Whether you embark on a small or large-scale production, we've got it down to an art form with a 500 square foot wide filming stage space, customizable for your set design, equipped with a high-end filming gear, grips and lighting. A production hub, live production